Hi, everybody. Tim Holmes here again for our story time, another one this week. I hope you're all up and cozy, got your PJs on, and you're curled up with somebody you love, whether that's an adult, your brother, your sister, maybe a friend, maybe you've got a big stuffy with you. We've got a really sweet story tonight. The story we're going to be reading tonight is called Cookie Needs a Friend. Now, Cookie Needs a Friend, like all the other stories we've been doing during story time, was created by children. And they worked together and shared their ideas, voted for their favorites. And we had a couple breaks where we did some art to add some more detail to our story. And they all worked together. And this was a special workshop that took place at Indigo Pinecrest a few weeks ago. And on the back, everybody got their author photo on the back there. And we, of course, arranged the story that they made up inside. And, of course, inside, as some of you will remember from earlier this week, the art pages are blank. So for anybody new listening this evening, remember, we wanted to make sure we tell everyone the art pages are blank because we want to leave the creativity to continue for any of these young authors that created this book. So they get their special limited edition copy after they do the workshop, and they get to add their own art to their book. And they could do it in many, many different ways. And so tonight, while I read you this story, I want you guys to use your imagination to imagine what all the different animals and creatures in this story might look like. And one of the things that I always love to do is get your imagination excited and get it inspired to create your very own stories. So at any time at all, over the next several weeks or whatnot, please take a moment, head to timholmes.com to the free downloads section, and you can get a hold of some free worksheets and crafts and all sorts of different ways that you can find a way to start your very own stories. Now, if you guys create some stories and you with your parents or your adults share that story with me, I would love to make your story one of the tales that we tell during these bedtime story visits on Facebook Live. So that would be really, really great to hear from you guys on that. After we read this story tonight, I want to make sure that I spend a little bit of time. I hang out for about 5 minutes afterwards, and you can share your favorite part of the story. You can ask me any question you like. You can throw in some requests, whatever you prefer. Now, also stay on afterwards as well, because I do want to remind anybody who hasn't shown up yet this week, I want to remind you of a special thing we're doing next week where we're all going to work together to build our very own story. Now, this one right here is called Cookie Needs a Friend. And I have a friend. I have a few, but I have one in particular. Um, and right now, I think he needs a friend more than anyone else. So tonight, I want to dedicate Cookie Needs a Friend to my friend Dylan, who, more than anyone right now, he needs a friend. And so I'm going to dedicate this story to Dylan and his mom. So without further ado, Cookie Needs a Friend. Cookie the dog was lonely, so he headed out on a hike to find a friend that was just right for him. He wandered through the valley of the nearby mountain range with his trusty blue blanket that made him feel safe. A mountain lion came out of the bushes slowly, licking its lips, and it spoke in a low, rumbling voice. "Well, who do we have here?" Its eyes opened wide, and it stared at the puppy like it was dinner. "Hello," said Cookie. "My name is Cookie, and I'm looking for a friend." The mountain lion thought, "Oh, you're not dinner. You're dessert." But the mountain lion said, "Well, friend, why don't you come over to my place for a bite to eat?" Cookie saw how the mountain lion licked its lips as it stared at him. A little voice inside of Cookie told him, "This is not the friend for you." Cookie said, "No thanks," and he ran away quickly with his trusty blue blanket in his teeth. Cookie stopped running when he found himself in a forest. Shuffling down the path towards him was a friendly-faced skunk. He had always heard bad things about skunks, but he didn't understand why. "Hello," said Cookie. "My name is Cookie, and I'm looking for a friend." "Well, hi there," said the skunk in a tiny voice. "No one ever wants to be my friend," said the skunk. "It would be nice to have one." "Well, do you want to play hide and seek?" asked Cookie. "Sure, I'll hide," said the skunk. Cookie covered his eyes and he counted to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the skunk, it skipped away and hid behind a tree. Cookie could smell the skunk. Not a lot, just a little. It was enough, though, to let Cookie follow his nose and find the skunk behind a tree. "Got you!" shouted Cookie. "Ah!" screamed the scared skunk. The skunk was so scared that it shot its stinky skunk spray right up Cookie's nose. Psst. Oh! Cookie coughed and choked and spat out the terrible smelling stuff. A little voice inside of Cookie told him, "This is not the friend for you." Cookie said, "Thanks for playing," and he ran away quickly with his trusty blue blanket in his teeth. Now Cookie stopped running when he realized he'd arrived at a heavily shaded part of the forest. Only a little light came in through the leaves and lit up most of the beautiful silver webs. Any creature who made art that beautiful would surely be a good friend to have. And that's when the spider lowered itself down on a sticky web in front of Cookie's face. "Hello," said Cookie. "My name is Cookie, and I'm looking for a friend." The spider said, "I like to play tag." "Well, so do I," replied Cookie. They played tag, but the webs were sticky and made Cookie slow. When Cookie was it, he wasn't fast enough to catch the spider. When the spider was it, Cookie wasn't fast enough to get away. He would always lose the game. The spider saw Cookie getting frustrated and offered to build him his very own web doghouse. It was beautiful, but no sooner had he got in than his tail got stuck, and then his ear, and then his leg. It was sticky all over. A little voice inside of Cookie told him, "This is not the friend for you." Cookie said, "Thanks for playing," and ran away quickly with his trusty blue blanket in his teeth. Cookie stopped running when he realized he was in a part of the forest that he had never seen before. It was so dark, it looked like nighttime here. Fireflies flitted about, and he put his blanket at the base of a large old tree, and he began to cry. 1 tear, 2 tears, 3 tears fell and landed on his trusty blue blanket. When the 13th tear fell onto Cookie's blanket, a slow, deep voice bubbled up behind him. "Why are you so sad, young pup?" Cookie leaped to his feet and realized that it was the large old tree speaking. The tree's words came out of a low, thin hole in its trunk. Its knot-shaped eyes looked at Cookie kindly. "I can't find a friend, and I have no one to play with," said Cookie. I might know someone," said the tree. Out of a large round hole above the tree's face, a ghost dog appeared. It landed gently next to Cookie and then barked silently. Cookie chuckled nervously at this. The ghost dog licked Cookie's face. It was cold and it was tingly, not slobbery and wet. Cookie and the ghost played fetch, and they played tag, and they played hide and seek. When they got tired, they curled up together on Cookie's trusty blue blanket. The large old tree told them bedtime stories. As Cookie drifted off to sleep with a warm feeling in his heart, he realized he had found just the right friend. The end. How wonderful is that story? The children that were part of this, there were 20 young authors and storytellers that came together and shared their ideas to build this story, they were between the ages of 5 and 12. And this is the kind of story that can come out of Start a Story Workshop and come out of the minds of young children when they're given the right kind of guidance and the freedom to share any idea, no matter how silly it is. I mean, that's really where I got my start. I was sharing silly ideas with my boys at bedtime to create stories for them. And we created our very own stories that are now out in the world to share with the every child in the whole world. We've got Peanut Butter and Dragon. We have Splashfin Toothy Grin, and my newest one, The Raino Buzz, which actually even comes with its very own song that's streaming on Spotify now. But these are the kinds of stories that I love to do, and that's why next week I really want to make sure that we spend some time together and we get to build stories together. So here's the plan. For those of you who don't know already, we're going to be able to build stories together in a 3-day visit. So the way it's going to work is about 30, 40 minutes long. We're going to get together on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. right here on Facebook Live. And what we're going to do is we're going to all work on the same story starter, the same little nugget of an idea. And we're all going to create our very own story. And they're all going to be very different, which is going to be kind of wonderful. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to all get together on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. on Sunday, April the 5th. And we're going to gather all of our ideas. Then on Monday at 10 a.m., we're actually going to get together again, 10 a.m. on Facebook Live, and we're going to organize all those ideas. And then you can continue to work on your words and your story and how you want it to go all the rest of Monday and on Tuesday. And on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., Facebook Live right here, we're going to discuss the different kinds of art, because you don't need to just draw. That's not the only kind of art. Maybe you're a painter. Maybe you're a sculptor. Maybe you really love Lego like I do. The way I did the pictures in my own books was with photography, Photoshop, and collage. So there are so many different ways, and we'll talk about all those different ways. So if you're up for it, I would love for you to join. If you can't make the 10 a.m. time, that's cool. The videos will still be up, and you'll still be able to follow along. So if you're able to create your very own story along with me next week, please share those with me, with your parents and your adults. Share those stories with me, because I hope that at the end of next week, on Saturday night story time, maybe I can share some of your brand new stories. Now, if you like what we're doing here, guys, and this is especially for the parents, please make sure to tell at least 3 different people about timholmes.com, where you can go to my free download section and get great crafts and worksheets for your children to build stories. And also, if you can do it on timholmes.com, that's TIMMHOLMES.com, timholmes.com, you can definitely check out, you can go to the menu and go down to the bookshop, and you can check out Peanut Butter and Dragon, Splashfin Toothy Grin, or The Raino Buzz, and you can actually purchase your very own autographed copies, and I'll mail them out to you. So guys, it's about that time. You know how this ends. I have to go take a visit and hang out with my own boys, Malcolm and Cooper, and give them their bedtime story. Thanks so much for being with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I will see you again, not tomorrow night, but I'll see you on Saturday night for story time. All right, cheers. Take care.